Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now let's continue with inverse cos function. So this is the graph of y equal to cos x. So the way to memorize this graph is just you substitute the value when x is 0, cos 0 will be equal to 1. So the graph will start with the point 0, 1 and it will go up and down continuously. Alright, so when it's continuous like this, we cannot find the inverse. Therefore, we need to cut it at a certain point. So for inverse cos, we will choose from 0 until pi to be the domain of cos x. Alright, so let's zoom this here. Okay, so this is the graph y equal to cos x, the green one, and let's now reflect it towards the symmetry line y equal to x. Therefore, this is the symmetry line here. Therefore, this is y equal to inverse cos x. So let's see here, for y equal to cos x, the domain is from 0 until pi, the one that we've cut just now, and the range is from -1 until 1. And for inverse cos, the domain is just the range of cos, which is from -1 until 1, and the range is from 0 until pi. So we can see it clearer. The domain of 0 until pi, we only allow to be in quadrant 1 and also quadrant 2. So quadrant 3 and 4 does not exist here. Okay, so we can see that when you are in quadrant 1, all will be positive. When we in quadrant 2, only sign is positive. That's why we have chosen the domain 0 until pi to be the domain of our cos function. So when the value of cos is positive, confirm we're in quadrant 1, and when the value of cos is negative, we are in quadrant 2. Now let's see the calculation for inverse cos. The first question said, what is inverse cos 1? So if you use calculator, inverse cos 1 is equal to 0. So let us see all the steps to solve this. Let y as inverse cos 1. And then change to y, cos y is equal to 1, where your y is between 0 and pi included. So just now we use the calculator, your answer is 0, so 0 is inside the domain, therefore your y is equal to 0, which is inverse cos 1 is equal to 0. Now let's see the next question, inverse cos half. So if you use calculator, this is 60 degree or pi over 3. So if you want to do the calculation, let y as inverse cos half, and then change to y, cos y is half, where y is from 0 until pi. Then we have found out that the angle should be 60 degree. So if you draw the quadrant here, we only allowed to be in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 and 4 is not included. Therefore, your 60 degree, pi over 3 is in quadrant 1. So we can accept this value here. Therefore, inverse cos half is equal to pi over 3. Now let's see the value for inverse cos minus 2 over 2. If you use calculator, this is 135 degree or 3 pi over 4. Now let y as your inverse cos. So cos y is minus 2 over 2, where your y must be between 0 and pi. So when you draw the quadrant, 135 is here in quadrant 2, so we can accept quadrant 2. It is within the domain, therefore the answer is just 3 pi over 4. And finally, let's see inverse cos 0. If you use calculator, this is 90 degree or pi over 2. Let's do the calculation. Let y as inverse cos 0. Cos y is equal to 0, where your y should be in the domain 0 until pi. So from 0 until pi, 90 degree, which is pi over 2, is within the domain. Therefore, inverse cos 0 is equal to pi over 2.